Hello, 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 everybody. It is Wendy here with Raise the Vibe Initiative, and I'm really, really excited to be here live with you tonight with one of your guys' favorite guests who is returning. We have the beloved metaphysical coach and mentor on with us, David Behr. David, thank you.
Greetings. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And it's summer, first day of summer. So we have something to celebrate. And summer, summer's dream time, right? Make it dream time. And it's allow time and it's connect time. So thank all of you, beautiful spirits, souls, angels, artists, intuitives, seers, wizards, all of you, light workers. Thank you. Thank you, Wendy, for being here.
Thank you to you, and thank you so much to the beautiful Raise the Vibe tribe out there. It's such a beautiful time of year. We are getting our light codes coming in, and I always find that this is a really beautiful, expansive time to, for the collective energy. And I just was hoping to be able to come on today. So really happy to be here. I always say that this podcast kind of comes through me. And for those of you that might say, well, what do you mean by that? I think, it is really divinely guided oftentimes. And sometimes I don't particularly know myself what the topic's going to be, but it comes through me. And what I got for today that I kind of wanted to dive into with you guys and with David was the preparation of 5D Earth. I know we've been talking about this forever, but I do feel that this is getting closer and closer, every day. So, David, I'd love for your thoughts on kind of, 5D. What is it? Are we preparing for it? Where are we in this process?
Well, we're leaving the 3D process, and everybody knows what 3D, we're living in it. It's the density zone, it's the fear zone, the struggle zone, the challenge zone, the pain zone, the angry zone, the fear zone, the war zone, the genocide, all of the stuff that's, let's say, much less than positive. The good news about 3D is that everybody is getting invited to go to 5D. So it's time to celebrate. It's time to get ready for the dance. So the way I see it, everybody's invited. And even if you think you're not ready to go, well, you've been doing this for many, 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 many lifetimes because you're here on the planet at this time. Chances are you're ready to go to 5D. So we'd love to have you. So the only thing that's holding you back because it's a decision not to go somewhere, but it's to go here where. And this is where we need to go. It's back to source, back to the divine light within ourselves. Going Om is where we're going. And so we're getting closer to source. And that's what 5D means. It's virtually getting closer to source. It's like standing in the meadow in the springtime and now summer when all these beautiful flowers are smiling at us. And we know we're on hallowed grounds, like we're getting close to divine light and we're getting excited and thrilled. Imaginations begin to be stirred. Our hearts become softer. The pain and the anguish and the suffering goes back into the native nothingness from which it came. 3D swallows it up because the dominoes are falling. And so we get to jump into this quantum leap because it's a signature, it's a frequency that we're going to. It's not a place. So we get to practice. We've practiced millennium of now learning how to let go, and that means everything. All of the history and the snapshots of pain. There's no more time to muddle around in the old way. It's really time to let them go, to dissolve. And when we do that, then we get the keys that we give ourselves and say, you know what? We're ready. We're in graduation school right now. We've all done this. Even if you're 3 years old, you get to come because you graduated to get here. We're going to do it together. We're all invited. And that means we're going home to love, to light, to peace, to a golden world where we can literally be in love with one another on a universal unity theme. And how wonderful is that?
Oh, beautiful. So beautiful. You know, we've really had an interesting, I guess, an earthly time. This last year has been very, very interesting in terms of some of this contrast, that is showing up. Again, oftentimes it's orchestrated by, people who have, let's say, an agenda at play. But we're seeing like a lot of shifts, even in the weather and, all of these other sorts of things. What do you make on this in terms of what we're dealing with collectively right now in this sort of ascension or shift process?
Good question.
Mm.
Let me see if I can paraphrase that. The timing right now is that we are beginning to see, let's say, the beginnings of the unravelings of what's holding that edifice, that conscious edifice together. And there's a lot of souls that still would like to be in charge, to be in control of this 3D environment. So the way I say it, hey, they've had their day. They've had their time, and their time is over. So essentially, victory has already been assigned because the consciousness of light workers universally have already seen that manifested. So it's not just hope; it's as close to a guarantee as you can get because hundreds of millions of light workers have gotten to this place over the millennium to get here. But that doesn't mean we're not going to see some shifting, to your point. And yes, there will be earth shifts and changes going on. By the way, I heard the other day and I liked it. It felt right that the polar shift that was going to happen in terms of north being south, south being north, like it's done before when they found bisons with little flowers in their mouth, flash frozen. What did that? A polar shift. Well, the polar shift didn't happen. It's not going to happen. The shift is in consciousness.
Absolutely.
So we've polar shifted, and that's cool. So again, sort of the drifting of the nefarious negativity that still holds their sway and balance. But I believe that we're at the point of conscious individuals that even giving one thought to some kind of a negative entity, we drift into it, go down the rabbit hole, and we signature off, we basically lend our divine energy to that, serves nobody. No how. Don't do it. Don't go there.
Yeah.
Choose something else. Choose an opportunity. Find light in the moment because those things that you suggested, they're happening. Political, financial, emotional, all of the darkness that people have had to deal with, their own personal shadow work. So many have done that. People are still in pain physically, mentally, emotionally, anxiety, all-time high. Well, all of these things are the grapplings that people have to do to say, you know what, I can see that signature here in 3D, but I don't want to participate in it anymore. I'm ready to go. I'm ready because all my pioneer friends, you're not alone. You got all of us together, and we're going to help each other.
Absolutely.
We're going to help each other win together, which is to raise delight collectively.
And I think it is shifting. Gosh, I mean, I certainly can see it on my end. Just how many beautiful light workers and that comes in various forms, but that are out there. We're all finding each other, and so we're in this sort of vibrational space that we're really vibrating on a high frequency. And I think we had spoken about that in our prior live, David. I can't remember, but I feel like we did. Anyway, but about what does that look like? Because if now wherever two or more are gathered, of course now we are able to just be so much more expansion, create so much more expansion, through unitizing as a collective. And I I keep getting this thing coming up where it's like, and even I watch people's posts. That I follow a lot of folks that inspire me, that are sort of doing this type of work. And a thing kind of comes up about, okay, well, if you're vibrating, let's say on the vibrational scale, and maybe not everybody knows that. I think you're likely familiar with it, but let's say we're vibrating, you know at a 500 and above. So let's say we're in love or joy or excitement. We're generally able to hold this frequency the majority of the time. So as one, that would expand out and cover quite a bit in terms of the vibrational field that that would hold. But now if we're all coming together, as a collective and we're vibrating in these higher frequencies as a collective, how much expansional space does that hold? Because one person can probably hold a vibration that would cover their city, versus a very, tight knit sort of fear vibration that really doesn't able isn't able to impact much, right?
Beautifully said. And yes, actually, beyond the city, because we're all infinite and we're all part of the divine. It's whatever you allow the concentric circle to pattern out to. So I say, well, let's go to the city, and your threefold flame heart is now expanded to a luminous bubble that precedes you, and it's like a mile in every direction, and it gets more luminous with every breath you take. And I'm including all of you people out there. You can do this while we're talking through this. So that bubble increases, and now you imagine it going out beyond the city into the state, penetrating every wall. Every human being is feeling this luminous light, this unity, this oneness. You have the ability, we all have the ability to do this because we're now connecting and igniting that flame. We're magnifying it, but our opportunity is to magnify that 100 million, 100 trillion fold and elevate simultaneously. So push it out now across the country, the prairies, the mountains, the oceans, entire United States. Now move it off over the oceans. An entire world is engulfed in our light. And now see it off the world and expanding outward everywhere. That's what we can do. We are not limited. We are only limited by the old, and that was a 3D world, wasn't it? The limited thinking, the dumbed down, the control mechanism, the containment, the fear, the doubt, they have to work for a living. I remember a book I read years ago, written by Starsky, called The Gospel of Relativity. Anybody read it out there? Incredible book, very moving. And he talked about basically the end of times and what would happen. And we had created enough DDT, apparently by his research in the early 60s, to pollute the ocean. So the ocean had been polluted by killing off all the plankton. And so the whole world was having a hard time breathing. So everybody in the world had to learn how to meditate and to elevate and lift the energy to save the world. And they did. Long time ago. So this idea, this concept about working together, we've done it alone. Everybody mostly in 3D has done it alone. It's competition, right? It's survival of the fittest. That's tough. I say unity, man, women. Let's do it together. Let's do it as friends and people that love one another and be hopeful for each other, help each other. We can make it through anything that we've had left to go because all of us together either have the answer or we'll find it. But you're not alone anymore. So come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, I think we're making, really incredible leaps, and I think that this is not something new, even though for some they may think, oh, well, this is a new concept. No, if you go back into the history, this is how human beings were created. If we go back even into the mystery schools, which is, many people are not sort of looking at that, but we see there were several civilizations, very old civilizations that really did live in this sort of unity consciousness, and they had these beautiful technologies, and they were very sort of telepathic in nature, and very highly effective communicators, and it was really based in a more sort of loving frequency. So I don't believe that it's new. I just sort of believe maybe it got hijacked for a bit, but somewhere in everybody's DNA is the little code that, when it's unlocked, are going to go back to their sort of divine knowing and their divine nature, which is unity, really. Like it's sort of like, well, we're all a part of the same source. We're just traveling in different vehicles.
I like that. Well said. Exactly. different vehicles and different individuated plans in order to contribute that particular lesson in this particular embodiment. And think about how many embodiments we've all had, probably thousands, right? So source is always refining itself. So my definition of the change that's happening now is that it is evolving to another connection closer to divinity, which we all want. We're all hungry for love. We're really done for the most part. I would say most people are done with all the things we talked about earlier. They've played their role. They've had their place in humanity. And yes, there are many advanced civilizations, interestingly enough, and I too believe that we've been visited by other terrestrial, extraterrestrial, terrestrial beings, probably much connected to us for eons, millions of years, probably. There are so many advanced civilizations that we already know about, but we're uncovering constantly. And the more you learn, the more you know you don't know, and the more you want to learn. And this beautiful old Earth has had many civilizations, advanced civilizations that have had ability to communicate, to fly, and I mean everything, and maybe way beyond where we are at now. But we're relearning. This time we don't have to jump off the wagon like Michio Kaku has said, the physicist. The planet level that we're at, once you find uranium, it's just a matter of time before people just unlive themselves. So we don't need to do that anymore. We've learned that painful lesson. This is our lesson to travel with the Federation of Stars, to be part of a much grander exposition of growth and travel, and to be with peoples from all over the galaxy that want to be part of our family. They're waiting for us to grow up. Stop hurting each other, they say. Come on, let's go. I think we're all ready to go, or most of us are. I
Sure.
am.
Certainly the people that I can see, and the people that are here, I would say, we're tuning in. We're ready to go, right? Get the ship,
And now,
the ship ready. Hi, Phoenix. David, you remember our friend
hi,
Phoenix?
Phoenix. Yeah.
I just noticing a comment, and oh, we've got a few actually. So yeah, so let's go to these, and thank you, Dallas, for helping me with the audio situation. Hi, Rachel. Nice to see you. And sweet Linda, of course, is here. We love you, Linda. Thank you for all your help tonight. Phoenix. Oh, here we've got actually one from Linda. Can you discuss the 144,000? Are we on track? That's a great question. What do you think, David? You wanna take that one?
I think that 144,000 is a fraction of how many there are because millions of us.
Yeah, yeah. I would have to. Oh, what's happened here? Did I lose you, David? Oh, of course. How convenient was that? Oh, here you come. You're coming back on. Oh, you want to unmute, David? It's always when we get into the meat and potatoes, then we get a little gremlin or a little funny thing like this that happens. But I'm rolling with it, and this is actually a really exciting topic, and that's a great question. So looks like David's trying to jump back on here, and we'll just give him a minute. But for the 144,000 thing, I think that's a beautiful concept. But what I've actually come to realize is I think that's a code to the DNA, actually, unlocking DNA code, which essentially, I believe, does add up to 144,000. And there's David. You're back. I don't know. I lost you there, David. Can you hear me?
Right there. I can hear you loud and clear.
Yay.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Yeah, we're here. And you were actually
Good.
you were answering Linda's question in respect to the 144,000 and are we on track?
Yeah, yes, we are. And I also heard your response, and I've heard that, and that feels right, and I like it about the DNA. Makes a lot of sense. But I think that number, which is, 144, if you add them up, you got a 9, right? You got the completion and you got the new beginning. So it's all about completing what we needed to get done. I think it's just
here we go again. Whenever we get into the good stuff, we seem to get a technical issue. Looks like he's coming back on fairly quickly. There you are. I'm not sure if our connection is a little bit, and I'm touching my hair.
Yeah, I haven't touched a thing noticeably, and I just did that, so I'm wondering what. I don't know. But anyway, we're here. We're now.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody again.
Also, when you unlock the 12 code, so they talk about there, I believe that there is sort of like this 12 strand DNA. And then when you multiply that by 12, I believe that may be a dimensional space. I believe you get 144. Is that right? I think so, something like that. Anyway, I do cover that in my interview with Robert Edward Grant when we were discussing sacred geometry and the DNA, and it was very interesting how it all sort of worked out to that number.
So that's my thought.
Yeah.
How about you, Phoenix? What do you think?
Yeah, Phoenix, let us know, buddy. Linda has a further question here, which is another great question. So many relationships are shifting, and this is absolutely happening. I think there is a bifurcation happening, no doubt about it. So many relationships are shifting, some are leaving, while other doors are opening for others who are like minded to come into our lives. Knowing your worth is part of the bifurcation. How can we more easily let others go from our lives who are no longer resonating with us? Oh, that's a good question.
I'd like to hear what you have to say, Wendy.
Yeah. Well, I do definitely believe we are in a bifurcation. And I think what that bifurcation means is that if we understand ourselves from as energy, if we understand ourselves as a subtle body, so we see our physical body, but as we shift our vibrational, frequency, we now go almost from a carbon to like a crystalline type structure where we're now vibrating on a different frequency sort of altogether. Now in the third dimensional earth, and above, like attracts like. So what ends up happening now is that we really need to be, we are going to be resonating with others who are on that similar vibrational frequency. That's how we, will be interacting with one another. Now, it's not to say that some of these other people don't have the capacity to be vibrating on a higher level. They absolutely do. But on a soul level, they may not be choosing to do so at this particular time, right? So I think what's important is just sending it love, and appreciation. And if it's not resonating, there, that's okay. Just sending it with love, taking away that emotional charge, and understanding that this is a really interesting time, and we need to really follow what is authentic to us. And everybody's on their own particular journey at this point, right? Like we really have to go there from a non-judgmental space and just send it love. So that's what I think about it. But what do you think, David?
Beautiful, thank you. In answer to that question, that who had the question? What was her name? Her first name?
Linda. That was
Do
Linda.
you remember?
Linda. That was Linda.
Linda. Okay, thanks. Uh,
Okay. So I'm not sure why David keeps going in and out. Oh, okay, he's coming back on, and we're going to go into.
I was off for a second. I'm back.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
You're shifting dimensions. You're like a rainbow roach, and you're vibrating so high that you're just, yeah, we got to keep you in this dimension.
So I think, and can you hear me yet?
Yeah. Yeah, we can hear you fine, David.
Okay. All right. So about the letting go process, I think when we get to the point where we realize it's all about divine order, and I love what you said, because one must raise their frequency because that's your destiny. So you're not responsible for anybody else around you. They're doing their own expression and raising or not raising. And if they're not raising, you don't have to worry about how it's going to end or not end. You don't need to be in control of that. Life will handle the details. This is about us all trusting that that perfect moment in time will be exactly precise. We have nothing to worry except worry itself, and it's not going to help us. So just trust. It's all by divine plan. Completely continue to raise your vibrations and continue to send them love. And when the vibration reaches, the vibrations have to sync, or they're not going to be together. It's just the way it is. But you don't need to worry about the details. That's my response.
Yeah, and I think
Trust the details will be handled.
and just to add to that, actually, that what comes up for me around that as well is be a walking example of the type of person you would like to see in the world. Maybe some people may not be ready at this
Yeah.
point, but by sending them love and being a beautiful example of consciousness, you may be surprised at just how many people will pick up on that energy in itself. I mean, I think the people that are doing this work, they really do hold a wonderful vibration, and it does affect the others around them. And they may find that these people speed up a lot quicker than they might think, because a lot of the work is being done in the collective. So, yeah, that's
Well said. Excellent.
yeah. So, and then now we've got Phoenix here, and I just wanted to mention I am connected in a cemetery. What are you doing in a cemetery, Phoenix? He's so funny. He's always doing road trips and he's in these different places. He says the mosquitoes were everywhere, but now vibrations are too high and they won't come anywhere near me. I was just having a conversation
I love
with
it.
a friend of
That's
mine
fun.
today about this. That's just a small sample of what collective energy can do. Yeah, magnifying the light. I melted many things with that method without. Yeah, let's do it within. That's awesome. Yes, 100%. That's beautifully said, Phoenix.
I also, yeah. Thank you, Phoenix.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. Yeah, thanks, Phoenix. Star Sky. Oh, Rachel. Oh, Rachel. Interesting. Okay, so she says, absolutely. I've had contact with alien beings and Sasquatch. Ooh, Rachel, I would love to know more about that. That's pretty cool. Have you had contact with them in this reality, or is this like more of a telepathic gift that you have? I'd love to know how you see that. That is really cool. Um, Soul honored, 144,000 is an energy we can connect to. By the way, Dallas Drapo, my very good friend. Dallas, thanks for being here. David, you're back. Good. Yeah, so my friend Dallas just says 144,000 is an energy we can connect to, not a physical number of people. Yeah. I mean, I
Right.
the DNA. Um, Dallas, I wish you could explain a little bit more about that, like in terms of like, yeah, the energy part of it. Um, does that have to do with the dimensions? Maybe the like the 12th dimensional space? I don't know. What do you think about that, David? In terms of on an energy level. And there you go again. Okay, you'll be back. Okay. Thanks, Dallas, for that. Okay. We move forward. This is Phoenix. We move forward by being us relentlessly in the now. 1212 stopped by today, and our chat was epic. Here's my ink. 1212 is a number that comes up a lot when I speak with you, Phoenix, and it's by no everything is like I don't even question it anymore. But there it is again, that 1212, and that's a message that I have been getting a lot of lately. Every time I look at the clock, it's either 1:44, 11:44, or 12:12. And I think that 12:12 is almost like it's the completion in a sense. That's sort of what I pick up from it. David, what do you think about the 12:12 code? Okay. Is anybody in the audience? I'd love to know what your guys' thoughts are on the 1212 code and the synchronicity of 1212, because it seems to be a really significant in the collective right now. I know I'm certainly seeing seeing it a lot. All right. Oh, Linda, Linda said, stay in the dimension, David. Stop, stop
I'm
popping
trying.
dimension. Oh, did you ground today? You said
So
you were out talking with the trees, but yeah, we got to ground you. Yeah, see,
the 12-12 question,
yeah.
I see two threes.
Hmm.
And so three is always the mirror. The 3 and 3 is 6, right? You've got two threes looking at each other. So you've got the magnification of Alpha and Omega. You've got creativity looking at itself and breathing life into existence. So 12-12 is about the magnificence of creation, the way I see it.
Beautiful. And it's also got percent. Yeah, okay. Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate that perspective. And he's beaming out again. Be the change you want to be. This energy is legendary. And now my device is glitching. He's glitching. Cemeteries are my sanctuary novice. Okay. Oh, here's a great question about money. Okay, so first off, money is an illusion. It was created by man. It really doesn't have any value, and the whole um, system created around this is really a bit of an enslavement, because abundance and money, I've always said, are two different things. That being said, we do have to keep the lights on in this intern, right? And most of the time I find that spirit does provide in these beautiful ways, when we are fully in alignment. But that said, totally understandably that, we can't just completely get rid of the idea of money altogether. But Linda is asking here, what will replace money in 5D? I'd love to get your guys' comments on that, like what you guys think about kind of the whole monetary system. And as we're sort of shifting into this new earth, what do you guys think is going to be the new sort of monetary system? David, you're back again. David, what are your thoughts on
Thank
that?
you.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on what will replace money in the fifth dimensional energy?
I think we'll be at a place where we won't even need money anymore. It'll be an exchange of everybody. Everybody will be taking care of everybody else in a loving energy way. We'll have free technology. I'm not sure how all of that will come down in terms of what the monetary system will be. So we're energy. Energy is money. Money is an exchange of energy. So sorry. Am I back?
Yeah, this is weird, David. Where you going?
I don't know. I haven't touched a thing. It just keeps, maybe it's a signal.
Yeah, it's those gremlins. Okay, well, let's hope we can hear your full answer here. So yeah, so you were saying that it's going to be maybe more of an energy exchange, you think?
Yeah, to be exactly sure the way it is, I think it's going to be evolving, but I know we're building a golden age together, and however that shows up, and I think the reason I don't know about it because I think it's going to be developed. I think we're going to collectively develop the way we want it to be. And, we've lived in the old system for so long, we don't have a lot of new ideas yet. So I'm open to learning about how that may exchange. All I know is I want to be in an environment where
I like that too. And I'm just going to fill in because we've lost David again. It looks like he's coming back. I really like the idea of equal energy exchange. I believe that this is going to be a fundamental way of building new Earth. You know, whether that be by a monetary contribution or a service contribution or a trading contribution. You know, I like the idea of an equal energy exchange. What do you think, David?
I agree. I that's exactly where I think it's going to go. It feels right when you said that, you know, and energy exchange in terms of equality is the way it ought to be. And it's not about keeping a ledger. It's about having it in that heart space and knowing, you know, everybody goes, this feels right. And it's a knowing, and then it's a knowing. And people both feel it, and then it's like having your own solar eclipse. You have this incredible experience about being connected with another human being and sharing something that you lovingly bring to the table, and they bring their loving energy. Hey, if it's only a smile in that moment, so be it. Whatever it is, you'll know what it is. It doesn't matter. We'll figure it out, and we will.
Well, you know, I think everybody has their own unique gifts and talents,
We
and
all do.
and that's a beautiful thing because I see people even in my coaching, which I do some coaching as well. And it's beautiful because they all have their own unique gift and talent, every single one. And it's beautiful that it's not the same with everybody. So, you know, my idea is like, okay, well, let's figure out what our gifts and talents are. And that's what we exchange with one another, right?
No, I like that because most people are still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, but I do find and that's probably another show altogether, but that's something that I've been thinking too, that, you know, as we raise conscious like our own, consciousness or in the collective, we're sort of raising consciousness. I have found that certain abilities, start to get more enhanced, and these very well I guess I'll speak, on myself, just for the sake of example here. You know, I notice that I have the ability to telepathically connect with others that are on similar frequencies, or I understand that I can do certain forms of energetic healing, you know, that has been likely, you know, in past lives or previous existences, whether they were on this planet or another. You know, but it seems like I have a lot of this stuff logged in there, and it's starting to come back on board. So, you know, it's almost like the more you're clearing the vessel, which I think is part of raising the vibration, and you know, I am raise the vibe, so that's a big topic for me. But you become this you know, this vessel for then light to kind of come through, and then you become this conduit, and we have all these abilities that maybe we're not conscious of in the 3D matrix, but when we start fully, you know, walking into our higher aspects or higher selves, these things seem to come on board. Do you guys I would love to know what you guys think about that. Like some of the things that maybe that you've noticed are coming up for you, or you know, maybe these things that are just coming online, or maybe it's even just like knowledge that you're getting. Because sometimes I'll just get these insights and I go, oh, you know, like where did that come from? Is that mine, or is that the collective, or who knows, right? But what do you think, David, about that?
I think that it's wonderful what you just said, by the way. Perfect. So what's the question?
Well, it's left me now. I was just talking about the different degrees of gifts and talents that come through as we're walking
Oh,
into our
thank you.
lives.
So what you said in terms of the amplification, I agree it's from many, many lifetimes, but it's also you remembering that you do have them. So some of them come easier than others, depending upon what kind of releasing work each individual. It's a pain body that they're working with. Is it an emotional body? Is it an intellectual aggregation? You know, whatever the challenges are. Uh, Everybody will have different aspects that are more open, and sometimes trauma and pain will cause openings like intuition, and a greater expansion of consciousness. So what you have is what everybody individually has the capability of refining and evolving the closer they get to source, going om. So the more we work with connecting with spirit through meditation, and by the way, the trees told me today when I was meditating, everybody's invited to come out and sit with them, and they have lots of information to share with you if you want to be there, and they are going to love on you. So everything around us is helping us elevate the whole world. If you see an animal totem that flies by or jumps by you, chances are that spirit totem animal, if you even look it up or if you want to just tune into the symbol of it, it's there to share some little special gift with you for that moment. And we have them all the time. We just forget. In the 3D dense world, we've got so many distractions vying for our attention that you'll get in the zone and you'll meditate and you'll be connected. You'll have a great time. You call them gremlins, right? Suddenly you're off the track. The phone rings, or I go and jump into another, whatever happens with a phone glitch. There's a distraction. So that distraction is a way for us to really pay attention of staying present in the now, rather than going, why did that happen? Or it's not perfect, or I can't control it. No, you can't. You can't. So if you can't control it and it goes in and out, then the fact that we even have technology, you're a long ways away from me, and I can see you and you can see me and everybody's listening. That's amazing. That's amazing. And I appreciate all of this that supports us, but everybody has their talents. And the more you trust, the more you listen, the more you give yourself permission to go out and just smell a flower. Listen to the blade of grass singing to you its joy that it has when it raises and the sun kisses it in the morning. That kind of splendor is what will make your soul sing. And we have it all around us. Just pay attention.
And actually, on that, David is an incredible poet. He is, I mean, obviously, we can see his energy is just so uplifting and beautiful. But he was able to share with me a poem of his that he had found after we had sort of talked about, what we wanted our topic to be tonight. And he shared it with me, and like it just gave me goosebumps, you guys. It's like it's really beautiful and touching and oh so David. And I don't know, David, would you like to share that with us? You could share
Oh, I
it.
would be honored. I'd be honored. Thank you for asking. And the backstory, which you said so nicely, before we connected over the phone and over visual today, I was out and meditating, and when I came in, I had found a poem that I had written a long time ago. And of course, I lifted it up and I looked at it, and it was basically kind of a distillation of what our topic was today. So, with that, I would love to read it, and I will put my cheetahs on. It's musings on light. The light has risen. Can you feel her breath? Everyone is feeling it, and all are experiencing this elevation. Those who are still asleep will feel the warm, warm breath of this wave. Then we'll all sing to them love's precious song of light, and this light will awaken them from their sleep. To awaken, to smell the sweet fragrance of this new day at love's dawn. We have reached a holy time when all of the ambassadors of time and space have come to Earth to now celebrate, to celebrate Earth's imminent ascension. Thousands of years has been walking this path with a friend who likes to be called eternity. So many paths we have all taken to get here. All have been invited, and all will not choose to attend this celebration. You who are now here and are here to fire up your soul's light DNA engine, let it begin again. Begin the ascending mastery of your inner divine light. Luminosity amplified is the sacred chant that expansion brings. Light sees light. Light recognizes light. Light invites light. Love light. Light loves light. Light magnifies light. Light amplifies light. Join the light brigade. Your heart will guide you. Trust your truth. Trust your intuition. You are now into the I am presence within you. You will know, and then you will now. Gaia is revealing in all of the healing light and love that is now is being sent to her. What a glorious time that it is to be alive. And that's it. Thank you.
Bless you, David. That was so beautiful. And I mean, I'm sure that just gave me goosebumps again. I just
Oh,
for sharing with us.
thank you.
Absolutely beautiful.
My pleasure and my honor. Thank you so much for listening. And thank you, everybody out there, for being the lights that you are. I feel, and I know you do, the collective of all of us feel this beautiful energy we got going on here. It's magnificent. And you know what? With all of our attention collectively, and let's do it like we began earlier, let's send it out to every place that still is dealing with pain on this planet. Send them this incredible luminous light that we all carry and that we elevate together. And the collective, the oneness, the consciousness of hundreds of billions of people, not only on this planet, but other planets are here to support us. Your angels, our angels, all of the masters, all of the brightness of all living beings, that every single one that ever gave the illumination of their soul to have touched this life with the echo of their life energy that we call a life. Every one of those stars that is a memory in our ancestral history has a pounding focus, a pulse of living light that continues eternally. Thank you, all of them, because all of them have contributed to this elevation, and we salute it.
Yes.
It's a great time to be alive, isn't it?
It really is. It's very exciting. And, soul family that's here, uh, you know, I'm super grateful. I go, how did we find each other? We must have made a contract. I'm quite certain we did. We had a contract to kind of find each other at this time. And guys, like, this is it. This is the time. Like, we're doing this and it's exciting. Very, very exciting.
That's why it's called Raise the Vibe. What a beautiful show. What a beautiful host. What a magnificent light and an elegant soul you are, that you bring so much of your perfection, your love for joy, your love for life, and it oozes and emanates and is so luminescent in your body. We all hear the echo, and I hear everybody's echo out there that reflect you. And together, what a light show this is.
Exciting. Thank you, David. Thank you so much for your kind words. And thank you to all of you guys out there. Like, just, I'm reading these comments and it's just like, there's so many beautiful, beautiful comments and questions here. So David, if you're still okay for a little bit more time, maybe we could dive into a few more questions.
Sure.
Great. Okay. So another one here from LM, we'll just say Linda. Easier. Can you discuss the role of divine feminine in this ascension process? That's a good question.
Oh, I love the question. First of all, the one who ushered the question, that had the mind, that had the connection with the heart to create such a wisdom question, is already ascended to her own divine feminine. And so thank you for the resonance of your femininity that breathes an echo of life into all women that are now beginning to recognize the exquisiteness of being the divine feminine, the resonating, all wings fully open to receive the lifting of the element of the wind of love that allows you to be born again in your new self, that you give every day with that trust that your divinity and your feminine have a coalescence that actually touches everybody that you see in the course of your moments, the course of your day. And the more you raise that light, the more it becomes connected with everybody, because you feel the resonance. The resonance feeds yours, and that feminine divinity, which is now being reborn on the planet, is Gaia in her ascension. So thank all of you who are aware of your divine feminine, and also you divine masculines. who
Yeah.
also recognize your soulful duty to be in touch with your divinity, to recognize the feminine, recognizing that within yourself, because we're mirroring that duality, which is really the unisons of what it's all about. The feminine and the divine masculine become the oneness. The one become the many become the one. And here we are. Thank you for the question.
Fantastic question, Linda. Thank you, and thank you for your answer, David. I think that's beautifully stated, and absolutely, I think a lot of it is rebalancing, the masculine and the feminine. The masculine has been injured, and the feminine has been injured, and it's time to heal. It's time to come back to the heart, and in the heart, there is no competition in the heart. There is no um, codependency in the heart. There is only love there, and there is only unity there. So being able to, I think, come back into the balance of those principles, not only within each other, but within ourselves, because both feminine and masculine live within all of us. So anyway, thanks for the question. Thanks for the answer, David. And yeah, that was a really cool question. Okay, so now we've got Dallas here. Dallas Drapo. Hi, Dallas. He says, yes, as we evolve into higher states of consciousness, this expands our awareness and perspective. We can access this energy now, and it will become easier and feel more natural as this cosmic energy keeps increasing and the old control structure dissolves. He says 5D with a heart and a lightning bolt. Oh, yeah.
That was a beautiful paraphrase of what we just got done talking about.
Yep.
Good job.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Um, Phoenix says, we will be light bodies and instant manifestation will be a thing. I have had some
Yes.
success. I agree. I agree.
Yes.
I think I see my son actually. I know, as we get a little older, we have to retrain ourselves. But when we came in, believe it or not, we could all manifest things instantaneously. And my son is like that. I've been finding lately, he'll wake up in the morning and he'll say, Mom, I really want this. And I'll think, some random thing. Like, for example, he likes these cookies, these, I don't know, these special kind of cookies. And they're quite far away from where we live, And he shows me at 8 o'clock, I want these cookies. And I'm thinking, well, there's no way I'm going to drive 3 hours, to get these cookies. Like, not today. And he's got them by like, noon. like, how do you do this? But kids, it's almost like it's so easy for them because they all of a sudden know it, they visualize it, they put the energy into it, and then they let it go, right? And that is kind of what manifestation is, I think. And
I love that.
yeah, and it just happens so quickly. I remember when both my kids were little, and I'd look around and I think, where did all these toys come from? Like, I did not buy all of these toys. And it was like, and yeah, they're like little manifestors. Anyway, I just it's really interesting how that kind of works. And I've been noticing things too, manifesting quite quickly now as well. It just seems to be like yeah, it seems to be quickening for me. I don't know. What do you think, David?
I agree on all levels, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And the areas that need to be refined, obviously, everybody knows their own individual need for refinement. So if it's material, that one. If it's emotional, we're all in this together. And by the way, as part of the collective, we can and I'm going to say all of us have committed to sharing and giving our love energy. So it's part of the signature. And I'm just going to say it out loud. I'm going to say it for me, and you can say it for yourself, that any of you need anything, all you need to do, if you just say my energy, my name, or you remember me, I will be present, and my love and my healing and my energy of my goodness will be with you during this time of need. So you're not alone. And then that can be with all of us. It's a collective sharing. We're helping each other. And it can be unconscious, it can be verbal, it can be nonverbal, but we're here to support each other. You're not alone. Just remember that. No matter what you're going through, you'll make it.
Yeah. Beautifully said. Love that, David. Rachel Papineau. This is a lady who grew up, who lives where I grew up. Excuse me, I've got something in my throat. She says, on the path hard after being in the military for 11 years. And I was more open before, but now it's all coming back to me. Interesting, because I think Phoenix and you might have some stuff in common. I know he was in the military too, and I don't know, they almost like recruit some of these gifted people, knowing that they may be a little more open. But I'm glad to hear you're back on the path, Rachel. Thanks for being here. Great to see.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah, so that's what I was doing while I was blocked, meditating, staying calm and connected. Yeah. Meditation, right? Like,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah. Oh, beautiful.
And I know you.
Thompson says Judy is just such a lovely light as well. She really likes your poem, of course.
Thank you.
Um,
Earlier, Wendy, you were talking about. I lost my thought. Something you were just talking about that you had mentioned earlier in our conversation before we started the show. It'll come back.
if it's meant to come back, it will.
It will.
Um, Linda
Yeah,
also,
yes, I agree.
yeah, Linda says, please post that poem on your page, David. Love it.
Oh, thank you. I
Glorious
will.
time to be alive. Aw, so nice. Yeah, you are really gifted, David, in so many ways. And your energy is it's like a warm hug. And you and I are friends, offline as well. But I always feel so blessed when I get to share space with you, and this is so much fun. And
Wonderful. And I would like to hear from the audience because I know I'm feeling all of these people out here feeling this raised energy of light that we're all contributing to. I feel it. And thank you for sharing it, everybody. It's beautiful.
yeah, for sure. I mean, the comments here are incredible. You'll have to also, David, have a look and share this out. But yeah, 33 feminine merging with the masculine, unitizing. That's exciting. We need a team to create the shockumentaries series I have been creating for years. Oh, that sounds
Well,
cool.
I like that. Cute.
I know he's always got really cool projects and stuff going on. Yeah, so, and he said retired Navy. So yeah, you guys might have some stuff in common. Yeah. Well, hopefully you can connect. We're a community here. So that's what we're here. We're here supporting each other, loving on one another. That's what it's about here at Raise the Vibe.
It is. Oh, so wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. So on that, David, did you say there was something else that you wanted to put out there? I think I got to
Yes,
most.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the beautiful summer day. Thank you for the gift of everyone's light. I do feel it. I'm so grateful that all of you are doing your work and your light work and your love work and that you are part of this community. I know what I wanted to say. You're all part of the tribe. It's a tribe. It's a tribe of people that are learning how to love in a brand new way and how wonderful it is.
And how blessed I am to see all you guys. I see some of my favorite people here tonight. And it's just nice to connect with everybody, and just come together and share. And I know it certainly really helps my vibration to see all you guys and hear what you all have to say and your experiences. It's just really beautiful to be able to have a space to share. So thank you so much, everybody, for all of you being here tonight, and to my sweetest friend, David Behr, who we absolutely adore. Thank you so
Mm,
much for coming back.
Thank you, everybody. And thank you for letting me be here. I really treasured it. Thank you.
I hope we can do it again soon, David.
Oh, I'd love to.
Really
Good
appreciate
night, everybody.
it.
Bye
Good
bye now.
night. Namaste. Have an awesome
Yeah.
night. Bye. Okay, so I think I'm hoping that we are managing to get off the live stream. I never know how to end it. Da, 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 da. Um, there we go. David, are you still there? No. Love you. Love you more. Love you more. Can I have my phone, please? Give me my phone. You little monkey.
Wow, I can just sneak up.
Did he come in and he painted that? I hope that it doesn't leave a big block like that.
I feel like it's just gonna make a bigger
Like paint over it. Like that's not exactly the answer I was hoping for, but
I don't know that's outside. It's like don't let this arm's more hairier than this arm. What am I gonna do about that? This arm is more hairier than this arm.
right. I hope that
How did the meeting go? Yeah, I found the problem. It was a spider.
hear me, David?
Loud and clear.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so I can see that we are live.
Oh, see? And like your balance.
everybody. It's Wendy here. I always leave a few minutes prior to going into the discussion just so that we can figure out any technical issues, because there has been a few the last couple of times we've tried to go live. So we'll give it a few minutes for everyone to, jump on, and if you just bear with me.
Follows it up because the dominoes are falling. And so we get to
Hi, sweetie. It was good?
Yeah, it went really well.
Oh, thank you. I didn't see you.
Believe it was an hour. I'm like,
Whenever I'm with him, time flies by. Like he's just one of those people that's like,
wow.
yeah, it just flies by.
I was like, oh, it's only been like 20 minutes. Why is it ending it already? And I looked, 1 hour. I was like, what?
No,
I'm with you, Con. We're happy.